Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Planning and Heritage Committee meeting. It's Tuesday, March 5th, and it is 20 to 4. Do I have any declarations of conflicts today? Okay, seeing none, can I have an approval of the agenda? Moved by Councillor Beck, seconded by Councillor McCabe. An adoption of the minutes from the December 11th meeting. Moved by Councillor McCabe, seconded by Councillor Beck. Any business arising from those minutes? Okay, seeing none. We have one report or discussion, but that is that in a closed session? Okay, so the first reports and discussions, A, legal opinion regarding the heritage designation of 10 Prince Street?
That's closed.
Okay, so are there any items for open? Nothing in mind.
There's the signs
Signs, digital signs.
in the right of way.
Do I have an old,
I think you're looking at the wrong one. This is,
oh, I'm looking at my closed session agenda. Jeez, sorry about that, you guys. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at just that one. So I did not bring that one down. I do not have, can I see somebody's agenda for open? I'm sorry. Until I download it once we get started. Thank you. Okay, first report, consideration to amend the zoning and development bylaw to allow digitized signs in the public right-of-way, and that would be Deegan. Okay. Thanks, sorry about that. Jeez. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, the agenda of my today's report is to provide an update on our ongoing consideration of digitized signage regulations. As you may recall, on December 12, 2023, I presented a case study research focusing on various cities and received value-back feedback to expand our study to include more cities across Atlantic Canada. As per City of Charlottetown's current zoning and development bylaw, electronic signs means an electronic sign that automatically display information message to public by way of prearranged sequence of letters, numbers, words, or images that are generated by the illumination of tubes, bulbs, LEDs, or similar electronically controlled technology. Each individual message or image displayed on electronic sign shall be static in nature and shall not incorporate animation, videos, moving effect, or changes in intensity of illumination. At the same, other cities around Canada considers electronic signs as a digital sign as well, which contains entirely high definition display. So, as per the current regulation outlined in section 47.3 of Zoning and Development Bylaw of the City of Charlottetown, these regulations strictly prohibited signs that poses hazard to safe movement of vehicular or pedestrian traffic, emit sounds, display obscene content, or incorporate animations or videos. On the basis of City of Charlottetown's current zoning and development bylaw and the bylaw regulations from cities across Canada, we created the analysis map depicting different aspects aligning to digitized sign on public right-of-way. So this map on the screen depicts all the zone of city where digitized signs are strictly prohibited, which includes 500 lot area on the heritage resources or site and all the residential zones of the city. In contrast, the City of Charlottetown's bylaws permit electronic signs within the industrial and commercial zones, although with strict limitation on size. For instance, in areas such as airport zones, shopping center, commercial, and all the industrial areas, the maximum allowable sign size is 2.79 square meter. Similarly, electronic signs are permitted in zones including business, office commercial, highway commercial, downtown mixed-use corridor, and parking spaces with a maximum display size of 2.23 square meter. Following our case study analysis, focusing on examples from City of Ottawa and Winnipeg, it's evident that their bylaw completely prohibit digitized signs in the open space, public parks, and environmental protection zones. Additionally, this bylaw mandate a setback requirement of 250 meter to 300 meter for any digitized sign. This regulation effectively narrow down the permissible areas for digitized signs, prioritizing the preservation of public space and environmental considerations for the city of Charlottetown. In our analysis near the Walmart area encompassing University Avenue, Capitol Drive, and North River Road, we have delineated setbacks regulation according to city's current standards. Per these regulations, depicted in the light pink, a setback of 30.5 meter from any residential property is mandated, with the additional stipulation that the sign should not face any residential units. Furthermore, in accordance with Ottawa's regulation, a minimum setback of 100 meter is required from every street intersection as illustrated in orange buffer. These regulations significantly restrict the permissible area for installation of digitized sign, emphasizing adherence to safety and urban planning consideration. In various cities across Atlantic provinces, Halifax stands out as the sole municipality permitting signs on public right-of-way, though not digitized sign. On contrary, Summerside allows the digitized sign on public right-of-way if they are deemed legal non-conforming installed before 1999. Conversely, all other cities in the region allow digitized signs exclusively in commercial and industrial zones similar to City of Charlottetown. Cities like Toronto and Vancouver have established a designated sign district such as Dundas Square Special Sign District in Toronto and Granville Street in Vancouver, which permit digitized signs on public right-of-way. However, Charlottetown's area size and zoning constraints prevent the implementation of such sign districts. In the cities permitting digitized signs with the setbacks from residential zone, diverse setbacks margins are enforced concerning other digital billboards, major roadways, pedestrian crosswalks, or traffic lights ranging from 100 meter to 300 meter. These regulations reflect a commitment to safety considerations, adding complexity to implementing digitized signs on public right-of-way in City of Charlottetown. Similarly, like Charlottetown, numerous cities across Canada restricted digitized signs to static image, prohibiting flashing, animated videos, or movement to ensure safety for vehicular traffic and pedestrians. Additionally, each digitized sign is subject to specific dwell time limitation, detecting the total amount of time for any single image to be displayed on screen. These regulations align with efforts to mitigate potential distraction and enhance public safety within urban environment. In addition to setbacks, there are specific limitations on the sign display hours and illumination level, as well as aim to ensuring safety for human eyes and minimizing the visual pollution. Furthermore, feedback collected from the City of Charlottetown's Public Works and Police Department suggested that digitized signs on public right-of-way may mislead vehicular traffic and contravene road safety strategies. Therefore, both departments recommended against the allowing digitized signs on public right-of-way to maintain road safety standards and mitigate the potential hazards. Now, we considered public feedback from other Atlantic cities where digitized signs are permitted, highlights concern regarding their impact on residents and road safety. In Sydney, Cape Breton, a resident reported disturbance to their daughter's sleep due to flashing electronic sign despite multiple layers of curtain. Similarly, in Moncton, a resident petitioned the council with 120 signatures citing neighborhood illumination issues, and distraction for the drivers near frequently used crosswalk due to digitized signs in the area. Therefore, considering the current regulation of the city and along with all those from various municipalities across Canada and considering feedback from cities' other departments, we are recommending that zoning and development bylaw regulations should not be amended to permit digitized signs on public right of way. Thank you.
Thank you for that report, much appreciated. Deegan, does anybody have any questions? So staff is recommending that we reject the proposal to amend the zoning and development bylaw to allow digitized signs on public rights of ways, as is supported by consultations with the city's Public Works Department and the Charlottetown Police Services. So anybody want to discuss this? Go ahead, Councillor Beck. Well, we would need a motion if we want to put the resolution on the floor, and then we can discuss the resolution if you wish. Sure, certainly. Okay, moved by Councillor Beck. Second, okay, so the motion is on the floor.
We need a motion that, to move, or.
I mean, we could-
At this level, I guess we really don't.
Well,
It's
More
up
to
to committee.
recommend it.
yeah, like, but we do need it eventually if we're going to, whether we're going to reject or not,
But we
because
don't
this
make-
needs to go
we don't
on.
make them hear it.
But we do have to do, like, we do have to do a resolution to go to council from here.
From the committee.
Yeah, you consider it a resolution, would you not? From committee, or you have to move and second it?
Find the report. Is there the report that has a recommendation in it?
The committee rejects the proposal. Staff's recommendation is to reject.
Okay.
And so therefore, the committee will need to decide whether or not to support staff's recommendation. And then do we move on to council from here? Normally we would.
Does it go, or does it go to planning board first?
No, this doesn't go to planning board.
Straight to council. Yeah.
But is it a resolution or is it a recommendation to support?
Well,
At the moment, it's a recommendation. When it goes to council, it becomes a resolution.
but we still have to put the recommendation on the floor.
Motion to say.
Yeah, yeah.
We're looking to support staff's recommendation. That's what a resolution.
Yep,
That's all you're doing.
yep,
Just a motion for.
yep. So does anyone have any questions on the discussion, or shall we move it right on to council? Yes, Councillor Beck.
Yeah. Thank you, Tegan, for that report. The deputy and I were just trying to figure out, this was here before us. I think it came back for reconsideration. That's correct? Am I right? Do I recall that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think maybe it was to look at what happens in other jurisdictions and is it in line with what's happening in other jurisdictions? Because we did have the Dundas Square and Granville identified before as examples. So I think you did a great job in terms of looking at other cities and areas and seeing what's going on. And I don't see any reason why we would go against your recommendation. It's well-researched, it's thought out, and I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendation, so that's what we need. And Julie, sorry, Councillor McCabe.
Thank you for that, Councillor Beck, and that was seconded by Councillor McCabe. Does anyone else have any questions on the recommendation for council? If not, then all those in favor of moving this on to council? Okay, all right. So that's great. Thank you very much for that. And that will move on to next week's council meeting, will it, Deegan? Will this move on to next week's
Yes,
monthly
Madam
meeting of
Chair,
council?
it will.
Great. Okay. Thank you kindly. Okey dokey. Go to bookmark. Ah. Heritage. Okay, so I now need a motion to move into closed session. Okay, as per section 1192D and E of the Municipal Government Act. So moved by Councillor Beck, seconded by Councillor McCabe. Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Back in open session. Do I need to go through the whole declarations of conflict again? No, I don't have to do that. So the legal opinion regarding the heritage designation of 10 Prince Street will be moving on to council at the next monthly meeting of council, which is next Tuesday. And so, other than that, do I have any new business? If not, a motion to adjourn. Moved by Counselor McCabe, seconded by Counselor Beck. Thank you, everybody.